Minimalism has long been associated with simplicity, clarity, and order. Yet today's architects are redefining it by weaving in timeless elements of classical elegance. The result is a new era of design, one that balances the serene restraint of minimalism with the enduring beauty of traditional forms. At its heart, minimalist perfection is about creating spaces that are uncluttered, purposeful, and harmonious. Every element serves a function, while every detail feels intentional. It is not about stripping away life, but about making room for it, making homes feel calm, spacious, and deeply connected to the human experience. Classical elegance is often defined by symmetry, balance, and refined detail. When paired with modern minimalism, these timeless qualities take on a fresh identity. Architects reinterpret arches, columns, and proportions in subtle ways, ensuring homes feel grounded in history while remaining undeniably contemporary. One defining trait of this architectural style is its clean lines, softened by subtle nods to the past. A simple rectangular frame may conceal classical proportions, while smooth facades might echo the rhythm of traditional colonnades. This whisper of history elevates minimalist design into something more enduring. Minimalist homes often prioritize open floor plans, allowing light and air to flow freely. But when classical design principles are introduced, these spaces become more structured. Open rooms gain a sense of hierarchy and balance, ensuring every corner has purpose while still maintaining the freedom of minimal design. Light is one of the most powerful design tools in minimalist architecture. Large windows, skylights, and glass walls invite nature into the home. Combined with classical symmetry, the result is interiors that feel both orderly and luminous, offering a serene backdrop for modern living. Minimalist design values restraint in material selection, often using concrete, stone, and wood. When paired with classical influence, the palette evolves into something more refined. White marble, limestone, and oak bring a sense of timelessness, ensuring the home feels elegant without losing its understated simplicity. Geometry drives minimalism, but proportion defines classical design. Together, they create homes that feel both rational and beautiful. Rectangles and squares form the structure, while classical proportions subtly influence spacing and alignment, ensuring every window, wall, and doorway feels naturally pleasing to the eye. In minimalist homes with classical elegance, furniture is not just functional, it becomes sculptural. Clean-lined sofas echo classical proportions, while modern dining tables may subtly reference traditional craftsmanship. Each piece feels carefully curated, embodying both restraint and timelessness. Color in minimalist design often leans toward neutrals, yet with classical elegance infused, the palette deepens into warmer shades, soft beiges, muted golds, and stone grays. These colors not only enhance calmness, but also bring a richness that elevates the atmosphere beyond plain simplicity. Symmetry has always been a hallmark of classical design. When introduced into minimalist architecture, it anchors open spaces and provides visual calm. A centered fireplace, aligned windows, or balanced staircases transform otherwise stark interiors into environments that feel harmonious and timeless. Modern minimalist homes embrace technology, but it is always discreet. From hidden lighting systems to smart home integration, these advancements blend seamlessly with the design. When combined with classical principles, technology disappears into the background, allowing the beauty of the architecture to take center stage. Art in these homes is minimal, yet highly intentional. Classical busts, abstract sculptures, or a single large painting become focal points that bridge past and present. Instead of cluttering walls, art is given space to breathe, echoing the minimalist philosophy of less being more. The kitchen in a minimalist classical home is both highly functional and beautifully refined. Marble countertops, sleek cabinetry, and integrated appliances create efficiency, while balanced layouts and classic materials ensure elegance. It becomes not only a place to cook, but also the true heart of the home. Minimalist bathrooms are often serene, with smooth surfaces and calming tones. Adding classical elegance introduces refinement. Freestanding tubs, stone vanities, and carefully proportioned layouts transform the bathroom into a sanctuary that feels timeless, luxurious, and perfectly in tune with minimalist ideals. In bedrooms, the union of minimalism and classical elegance creates havens of tranquility. Clean-lined furniture, warm textures, and symmetrical layouts ensure restful spaces. Subtle classical touches like arched headboards or proportioned wall panels add a quiet elegance that never overwhelms. Minimalist perfection does not stop indoors. Gardens and terraces echo the same balance of simplicity and timelessness. Straight pathways and uncluttered landscapes are softened by symmetrical plantings or water features inspired by classical courtyards, ensuring outdoor spaces feel like seamless extensions of the home. Craftsmanship is vital in achieving this balance of styles. Minimalism demands precision, while classical elegance requires artistry. Together, they create homes where every joint, seam, and finish matters. The result is architecture that not only looks beautiful but feels deeply enduring. Though rooted in universal principles, this design philosophy has global variations. In Europe, it often references Renaissance proportions. In Asia, it blends with Zen simplicity. Across cultures, the fusion of minimalism and classical elegance adapts while maintaining its central ethos: simplicity with timeless grace. Beyond aesthetics, this architectural style speaks to emotion. Minimalist clarity reduces stress, while classical beauty inspires a sense of belonging and heritage. Together, they create homes that feel simultaneously calming and uplifting, a perfect emotional balance in our increasingly fast-paced world. Details matter deeply in this style of architecture. Even the smallest elements, door handles, trims, or lighting fixtures, are designed with proportion in mind. These details may seem simple, but they echo classical refinement, ensuring the home feels cohesive from the grandest space to the smallest feature. Minimalist perfection naturally aligns with sustainability, as it reduces excess. When classical principles are added, durability comes into play. Stone, wood, and marble not only enhance beauty but also ensure longevity, making these homes environmentally responsible as well as aesthetically timeless. Exteriors reflect the same philosophy as interiors. Smooth minimalist facades are elevated with subtle classical gestures, symmetrical windows, column-inspired forms, or carefully proportioned entryways. These touches ensure homes feel both modern and timeless, avoiding trends that fade too quickly. Nature plays a vital role in this architectural approach. Minimalism's love of openness and light merges with classical courtyards and gardens, resulting in homes that feel deeply connected to the environment. Trees, water, and stone bring a grounding presence that enriches daily living. In an era where luxury is often equated with excess, minimalist perfection redefines it. Luxury here is found in restraint, in the quiet elegance of proportion, and in the quality of materials. It proves that true sophistication lies not in more, but in better. Our lifestyles demand flexibility, and this design philosophy adapts seamlessly. Open layouts support social living, while classical order ensures calm. Minimalism meets the fast pace of modern life, while classical elegance slows it down, creating homes that work with, rather than against, contemporary needs. Many architects are now championing this fusion, seeing it as the future of residential design. Their projects show how modernism and tradition can coexist, offering inspiration for homeowners worldwide who want their spaces to feel both relevant and enduring. Interior designers also play a crucial role in bringing these homes to life. Through furniture choices, textiles, and decor, they highlight the delicate balance between minimal clarity and classical richness. Their work ensures every home feels cohesive, livable, and timeless. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of minimalist perfection with classical elegance is its timelessness. These homes will not look outdated in a decade. Instead, they stand as enduring testaments to balance, clarity, and beauty, qualities that remain relevant across generations. Minimalist perfection with classical elegance is more than just a design trend. It is a philosophy. By blending the serenity of minimalism with the timeless grace of classical design, these homes create a future where architecture is not only functional, but also deeply inspiring. A future defined by harmony,